Stewart Cellars is a 40-acre winery located in Temecula, California, with a capacity of 150 tons of grapes, yielding about 16,000 cases of wine per year. Effective pricing decisions are key to the success of this family-owned business.
The target market is the upper end of wine connoisseurs, the people that can afford a premium product at a premium price. And in the wine community, so to speak, it's probably the top 10 to 15% of the wine purchasing public.
There are 4 common approaches to consider when setting the price of a product: demand-oriented, cost-oriented, profit-oriented, and competition-oriented. Each approach considers a variety of factors. An effective marketing manager may consider several of these approaches when searching for an approximate price level. Many wine consumers have acquired a basic knowledge of the product selection. The perception of quality is a major factor in wine sales.
I think it's a fair assumption that the value is if it costs more, it's worth more. And I think that's in any type of industry with any type of product.
Value is perceived mainly on price. I'll say that. Also based upon what people read in magazines. Trade publications have a great deal to do with what people perceive as a value wine. So for them, value is based upon what they've read in a trade publication, or perhaps what friends have told them about when they go to their houses and they're drinking a wine. They're saying, oh, this is a great value.
For the savvy wine consumer, you could say price is a matter of taste.
In the wine business, it's really the taste of the product that is the ultimate factor in whether it sells or it doesn't, or it's good or it isn't. And you can have a $20 bottle of wine or a $200 bottle of wine. And if the 20 tastes good, that's what you're going to buy.
So if something gets a 95 by the Wine Spectator, then people want that wine. I mean, we'll have a wine for months, and then all of a sudden it'll get a rating in the Wine Spectator, and it's like that same day it's sold out. So it's just, it really, really makes a difference. A couple years ago, there was a wine that got like a 4-star gold medal in the Wine Spectator, and it was, I believe it was like under $20 at the time. And once it got the medal, for one thing, they stopped selling it, our distributor. And then it came out about 6 weeks later at about 40% higher price. Ever since that time, people have really sought that wine out every year. And the award was given like 4 years ago.
Our goal is to increase our market share to where we can achieve those goals of selling 85 to 90% of our product. We think we can sell more of a particular type of product at a certain level if we do lower the price, or if we increase the production on that product, that we're able to sell out that 90% goal that we mentioned earlier.
If a wine garners a favorable review or positive recognition within the industry, the price may change, along with the perception of value.
On some of the reds that we have, which are now becoming more well-known, we're going to raise some of the prices on those because we feel that it's going to warrant the additional $2 or $3 or $5 per bottle price.
If something has a cult following, there's a big demand for it, and usually a small supply, so it makes the prices really go up. But we have to allocate wines to people, like somebody will call. I mean, they would buy everything we had. We could sell it to one person, so we'll only allow them to buy like a bottle or 2 bottles.
There are many wines out there that might only make 400 to 1,000 cases of wine per year. And they get very high scores in trade publications such as Wine Spectator or Robert Parker Wine Advocate. So there's this perception of great value, of ultra-premium wine, high prices, add to that, but a very low supply. So everybody wants it. The demand is extremely high. People are clamoring, fighting to get that wine. Now, let's say you have a bad year, though. That is going to dramatically affect the profit-making part of your business, essentially, because if you have a bad year, there's no way to make good wine out of bad grapes.
So, for example, if we have 50% of our product is Chardonnay, just for conversation purposes, but we're only able to sell 25% of that ultimate end product, then we will probably sell that off as bulk juice. when the heyday of the dot-coms was going on and young people had money, they thought nothing of throwing down $100 for a bottle of wine. That has gone away. There's been a glut of the market, not only from overproduction in California, but the importers coming in trying to buy market share. That's been a factor. Those two are probably the major impacts that have hit the market in terms of the pricing and how it affects the vintners or the winemakers.
How much disposable income does somebody have to spend on wine? What we're seeing right now, based on the strain on the economy, are people are starting to flock more towards what we would consider value wines, wines that do fall between the $5 to $10 range. And I'd say the economy really has a great impact on the demand side.
While price is often a cue for quality, there are many great-tasting wines at reasonable prices.
Some people will look for low price, the value, and they will realize, because of what they've read in trade publications or speaking with retailers or friends of theirs, that you can get a great wine at a low price. Wine is one of those items that you really can't say that price dictates quality. So they've heard or they've read about a particular wine from, let's say, Italy, that costs them maybe $5 essentially. And they've tasted it, they know it's great, and they're going into the store to buy that lower priced wine. However, you have another person who is convinced that nothing under $50 is good enough for them. They are the other customer that believes that price does weigh very heavily on quality in a wine. Especially in California, we are really a discount state when it comes to wine. We really cannot make that high of a markup. I will say that full markup for wine is actually 33 1/3%, which surprises a lot of people because they look at us as though, once again, we're a luxury item, that we're like jewelry or clothing or cars for that matter. There really isn't that great of a markup on wine, and the majority of wine is actually marked up much less than 33%. Many times there's a volume discount on buying wine from a broker, or distributor, or winery. So let's say case one costs you $245. But if you buy 3 cases, they'll go ahead and take 10% off. Buy 10 cases, they'll take 15% off.
Sometimes we'll offer a discount if our distributor is running a special on something, and then we'll pass it along to the consumer, and then maybe we'll even go a little bit lower so we can have it like an advertised special and just go like 6% over cost, and then the price looks really good.
The impact of regulated distribution, like the system in California, also affects price.
California is a 3-tier state, which means that it has to be imported by somebody, distributed by somebody, and then sold by somebody. So basically, a distributor or broker cannot sell to the general public. The general public has to purchase their wine either through a retail establishment or a restaurant establishment. So in that regard, I would say in our establishment, in the retail establishment, we're forced to at least make a 6% markup. We can't mark anything less than 6%.
The long wait between the planting of grapes and the bottling of the wine ties up capital and resources and is an important factor in pricing.
The winemaking process starts when we harvest the grapes, we pick, then we store them inside here where the temperature is always kept at 56 degrees. They're then fermented, crushed, then pressed off outside at our press and then stored in tanks. And then from tanks they go into barrels and are aged anywhere from 9 to 24 months. So the entire process from harvest, the soonest we have a wine available is about 14 months to as long as 6 years.
Stewart Cellars made an initial investment of $650,000 for approximately 40 acres of undeveloped land. Fixed operating costs can be accounted for. Variable costs are harder to anticipate.
To plant a vineyard is about $18,000 an acre, which includes all your infrastructure, your irrigation, your vines, your trellis system, your headrails. So we're at about $1.4 million before we've had one grape. The rest of this particular structure, with the barrels, with the refrigeration system, with all the capital equipment we have outside, is probably another $650,000 to $700,000. So we're into it just hard cost, about $2 million for this particular 30 acres plus the facilities you see here.
Well, fixed costs on a retail side or broker distributor side mainly is going to be your housing for the wine, essentially. What is your store cost to run? Rent, electricity, gas. Especially for us, we have a 4,000 square foot climate-controlled cellar, which is constantly 58 degrees and 70% humidity. That's a fixed cost every month that nobody else in any other business is going to have. As a broker / distributor, I'm going to have the fixed cost of a warehouse and of a delivery system, essentially, the freight cost to get the wine from my warehouse to you.
Our generator broke down. That ended up costing about $13,000 because we had to buy a new engine and then have the engine put in and repaired and replaced. We had a tractor that the rear end went out. That was a $3,000 problem. The air conditioning system we had a problem with a while ago, which was about $7,500. The bottling line, we had a part fall off that fell inside one of the rotating arms. That's probably going to be a $25,000 expenditure. So those types of things you have to figure in, because if you end up with let's say your operation and maintenance you expect to be $40,000 to $50,000 a year, or $60,000 a year, and you budget 10%, and it goes to 100%. Well, that's a cost that you have to recoup, and you just can't wholesalely raise your prices by whatever to offset that. The machinery and equipment that you have no control over are probably the biggest variables in terms of cost that we have to account for.
Buying land adds to winery costs, but provides more operational control.
How much is it going to cost to get a ton of grapes? Do you own the land? If you own the land and they're your grapes, it's going to cost you much less. If you have to go buy grapes from somebody else because you don't have enough to make an amount of wine that you'd like to, that can make a big difference. California has 3 of the primary growing regions for grapes in the United States. Everything's right in our backyard. We don't have to pay so much to get to the wine or have the wine get to us.
Monitoring the competition's pricing and paying attention to market fluctuation affects Stewart Cellars' pricing decisions.
We look at the competition all the time. We see who's coming out with what variety, what's being done new, where it's been produced, what the quality is, what the price is. Who's releasing what where, what the glut or scarcity of the market is, or scarcity of the quality product, or glut of a quality product. All those factors come into play to try to establish that ultimate retail price.
Wineries, distributors, and retailers look at a variety of factors in determining the price of a bottle of wine.
The ultimate retail price has so many different variables in it. From what the competition is, or the awards that have been won, the overall market, the consuming public, the year, the weather, the variety, the quality of the product, the competition, the glut on the market, business-related costs that are associated with producing the juice. And the only real true test is by what you're able to ultimately sell. If it's priced too high or priced too low are factors that can really have an impact. So we take all those different variables, hard costs, and then just the market conditions, and try to set a price that we think is fair and reasonable.